The wait is over. The new season begins. New riders, new skis, new hopes, new drama await. Hold your breath, sit tight, you're in for one hell of a ride. The 2017 UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship got underway with a Grand Prix of Italy in Porto Cesareo. Located on Italy's rugged Ionian coastline, Porto Cesareo is a historic region with beautiful towers and edifices spanning various epochs, but also offering a laid-back and relaxed seaside way of living, with hospitable locals, a vibrant local scene where leisure and work meld in harmony to produce a natural balance that infuses the town and the surrounding countryside. This coastal gem boasts 17 kilometers of golden sandy beach and some of the most pristine waters in the region. This is a town that lives and breathes with the sea, and where water is a way of life dominating everything, from the panoramic vistas to the marine museum and the fresh daily seafood that is a staple in the town's many restaurants and cafes. The UIM-ABP Aquabike Grand Prix of Italy is the biggest sporting event to be held in Porto Cesareo, and the excitement was palpable as the Aquabike family rolled into town. The 2017 Grand Prix of Italy saw 140 of the world's best riders from 26 countries descend on Porto Cesareo, making it the world capital of Aquabike through the three-day event. There would be a bevy of races and categories. Runabout GP1 and Freestyle would be accompanied by Ski Division GP1, Ski Ladies GP1, Runabout GP2 and GP4, and Ski GP2 and GP3, a real festival of racing. The Grand Prix of Italy circuit off Porto Cesareo is a clockwise course, which is unique on the tour. The water conditions are tricky, sometimes flat and fast, sometimes choppy, and the large number of riders, as well as the tight layout of the buoys, should make it extra rough and challenging.
This weekend we do a beach start, which actually I prefer because my jet ski is pretty good from acceleration. And then out on the course, you have a split course which we can choose the green or the blue. And if you're behind a slower rider, it gives you the opportunity to pass pretty easy.
The condition is perfect. It's flat conditions, but it will change within a lap or two. We have 25 riders going in the main. I hope my handling is good for that condition, and we'll see how it goes.
The blue ribbon category in Aquabike, the biggest, most powerful, and fastest bikes on the water. 300-kilo behemoths producing 380 horsepower, hitting speeds of up to 170 kilometers per hour. It's time for Runabout. The Runabout GP1 field is headed by three-time and defending world champion Yusuf Al Abdulrazak of Kuwait. He's looking for a fourth world title, and he wants to get his 2017 campaign off on the right note in Porto Cesareo. But the Kuwaiti will have to contend with 2016 world runner-up James Bushell of the UK, who proved to be one of the fastest on the tour, technical issues notwithstanding, producing some incredible come-from-behind wins in 2016.
Changes on the propellers, had special ones made, and this is going to be much stronger, so hopefully we won't have those issues. Last year I think I braked maybe 3 or 4 propellers, which cost me pretty much the championship, so hopefully we resolve that problem and hopefully have a good fight with Yusuf and all the other guys, and we'll see how we go.
Another man number 1 in the world rankings is Frenchman Jeremy Perez. He has come tantalizingly close to getting a world title on so many occasions, never to hold the trophy at the end of the season. Can he do it here?
I prepare with a new bike, so it's new for me. It's my first race with this jet ski, so I will see, but I prepare me very good for this new season for try to get the world champion at the end of the year.
Swedish rider Lars Åkerblom is also one of the fastest and most aggressive riders on the tour, and if he can keep a momentum going and avoid technical mishaps, he's always one of the favorites for the title. Also in the running are the likes of former world champion Mattia Fracasso of Italy, last year's world number 4 Christophe Agostinho of France, the towering Swede Johan Johansson, and China's most outstanding talent Wu Ronghua. There are also a host of newcomers and old names returning, like former world parallel slalom champion Georgi Kasha of Hungary, Julian Emelie of France, Estonian rider Anton Pankratov, and New Zealand rider Carl Lamp. The time trials were full of drama that saw James Bushell barely scrape through in 9th spot in Q1 to qualify for Q2. But after a fleet of riders broke down and failed to get a lap in, James Bushell went out and ripped the circuit up to lay down a 1 minute 20.98 second lap time to clinch pole position for Moto 1. Lars Åkerblom was locked in a battle with Yusuf Al Abdulrazak, the Swede getting the better of the Kuwaiti, nabbing second spot on the starting grid, Yusuf Al Abdulrazak coming in third, followed by Hungarian Georgi Kasha, and in 5th place, Andrei Wisniewski. The first race of the year is about to get underway. It's a power-packed field and everyone's starting level, anxious to get out of the gate and get that season off to a flying start. There they go. Lars Åkerblom flies out into the lead as pole sitter James Bushell falls back, but Bushell quickly building momentum to catch up with Åkerblom as they tear away to the hole shots. A trio of riders has broken away from the field already, Åkerblom leading just ahead of Bushell and Al Abdulrazak, the same 3 riders who were on the podium at the end of last season when Al Abdulrazak lifted his 3rd world title. There's nothing separating these 3, Al Abdulrazak flying through on the left of Åkerblom, the 2 head-to-head, but it's pole position holder James Bushell who has the inside lane advantage as the 3 go through and enter the alternate course. James Bushell holds on to his lead coming out of the alternate course, Åkerblom in second, then Al Abdulrazak trailing the leaders. Last year's world runner-up James Bushell off to a flying start in the first moto of the year. Great stuff from the British ace, a 10-time British national champion, opening his lead from the get-go. Behind Bushell, Åkerblom in hot pursuit, followed closely by the Kuwaiti world champion Al Abdulrazak in 3rd, and then number 25 Polish rider Andrei Wisniewski in 4th position. Further down the field, number 11 Marcus Jorgensen of Denmark coming out of the alternate course, going neck and neck with Marcin Sanda of Poland. Jorgensen does it. He moves up a spot into 12th position. Andrei Wisniewski in 4th position, coming out of the blue track of the alternate course in lap 2. Hungarian rider Georgi Kasha beats him to the separator sausage buoy. Kasha moves up into 4th and sets his sights on the top 3. And look at Kasha! He's breathing down Al Abdulrazak's neck. The Kuwaiti wondering where he came from as he now has to stay focused to hold off the very fast Hungarian, a former world parallel slalom champion. Georgi Kasha is going all out, fast and tight through the alternate course. Can he do it? Can the Hungarian unseat the Kuwaiti as they come out of the alternate course? Åkerblom flies past Al Abdulrazak, and there's Georgi Kasha. Kasha does it. He moves up into 3rd position, bumping the Kuwaiti down and moving in on Åkerblom as a 3-way tussle unfolds in a battle for 2nd spot. But Kasha gets a penalty lap. He veers off for the black buoy, and the defending world champion moves back up into 3rd position. Kasha backing down into 4th. We're on Al Abdulrazak's onboard camera now as they carve their way through the rough waters. This could be the Kuwaiti's chance. Al Abdulrazak getting very close now to Åkerblom, coming around the outside. The 2 are head-to-head as they enter the alternate course. Åkerblom in the green track, Al Abdulrazak in the blue. The slightest mistake could cost either rider dearly here. It's that close. Al Abdulrazak coming out of the blue track. This could be his chance. Åkerblom emerges from the green, and Al Abdulrazak does it. Finally, on lap 7, Yusuf Al Abdulrazak moves ahead of Åkerblom, taking 2nd position, bumping the Swede down to 3rd, and now left with the task of catching up with James Bushell in the lead. In the alternate course, lap 10, Lars Åkerblom coming out in third position, but on the next track is Georgi Kasha in fourth. Kasha does it. Kasha overhauls Åkerblom, who's bumped down to fourth as the Hungarian cracks the top three once again and gives chase to Al Abdulrazak. What a return to the UIM-ABP Tour from the 10-time Hungarian national champion. Out in the lead, James Bushell maintains his gap over Al Abdulrazak, but as the race goes into lap 12, Bushell and Al Abdulrazak have to negotiate a thick tangle of back markers. Al Abdulrazak continues to close in on Bushell, who has one eye behind him while trying to get through the densely packed field up against a wall of skis, water and waves as the Kuwaiti moves ever closer behind him. The two are neck and neck. Al Abdulrazak is right there beside him. Bushell looks over and to his horror, he sees the Kuwaiti right there. Al Abdulrazak manages the traffic masterfully and moves into the lead. The defending world champion leaves it late, but takes the #1 spot as the race nears completion. Lars Åkerblom reclaims third position from Georgi Kasha, who has engine problems. Trouble with 2 laps remaining. Andrzej Wisniewski is unable to finish the race. What a shame for the Polish rider as he's left bobbing on those waves. The final lap. This is it. Do or die, now or never. Bushell goes all out, but Al Abdulrazak is fast, focused, and calm. His lead is unassailable. The Kuwaiti makes the perfect start to the new season. What a win from Al Abdulrazak, and he's understandably overjoyed. The Moto1 win goes to the defending world champion, Al Abdulrazak. Bushell runner-up. He congratulates Yusuf. He'll be disappointed to lose that, but runner-up still earns him 20 points. Lars Åkerblom manages to get third. Jeremy Perez rises from 9th at the start to take 4th. Johan Johansson 5th. Marcus Schick 6th. And Wu Ronghua coming in 7th.
I thought I had a comfortable lead and I kind of was pacing myself. And as we got into back markers, me and Yusuf, there was a big bunch and he had bigger balls than me. So I was trying to take it cautious because I've made so many mistakes with back markers, make a crash the boat. So I was trying to be cautious and then Yusuf managed to get the inside of me. So yeah, no, he done really good. And yeah, great race.
The freestyle is where aquabikes take on a whole new dimension. The gravity and logic-defying stunts that these guys pull off makes this one of the most aesthetic and popular categories on the UIM-ABP Tour, and the crowds always turn out to cheer on these aquabatic masters. The greatest freestyle rider of all is no doubt 4-time consecutive and defending world champion Rok Florjancic of Slovenia. He has dominated freestyle for years, and when he hits the water, every rider from every category drops what they're doing to go watch. Needless to say, he's the guy to beat. His brother, Nas Florjancic, is also a former world champion, and he gets closer to his brother every year, sometimes even beating him. If anyone can wrest the world title from Rok, it's his brother Nas. The Slovenian sensations are up against 2 Italian masters. Roberto Mariani from Rome is a multiple European and Italian national champion with his own signature tricks and moves that have earned him several world championship podiums over the years. Mariani's countryman, Alberto Camerlengo, is also a solid freestyler, always pushing to the max, giving the other riders a run for their money. Jaroslav Turner of Czechia has been competing since 2003, and he's keen to show what he can do in his UIM-ABP debut in Porto Cesareo.
The freestyle is one of the disciplines of aquabike where the jet skis are modified to perform the most extreme maneuvers in the water. Submariners, backflips, barrel rolls, rotation around different axes in the air. A group of 5 judges can score from 0 to 10 to make sure that with this system we are giving the most fair treatment to all the riders.
Alberto Camerlengo is first out, performing in front of the locals who cheer the Italian on. A set of backflips from Camerlengo gets the crowd buzzing. Barrel rolls from the Italian. He has trouble landing them though. A good effort from Camerlengo, who salutes the crowd on his way out. Czech rider Jaroslav Turner takes to the water in his first UIM-ABP Grand Prix. He kicks things off with a double 360 and then performs a few barrel roll and backflip combos. But Turner loses points in the difficult landings in these choppy conditions. He salutes the crowds who applaud his enthusiastic routine. Former European and national champion Roberto Mariani can count on local support to egg him on out there. He gets a very warm welcome and he kicks things off with a great set of backflips, 360 and 180 combos. He performs his signature Superman, a Mariani staple. He executes an excellent submariner, shooting back up to the surface to a round of applause before capping off his routine with another combo. Loud cheers for the Italian champion. Next out is Nas Floriancic, ready to greet those rough waves and use the extra lift they offer to his advantage out there. He kicks things off with a great combo, rich in variety as always, and that sets the tone for the remainder of his routine. Nas Floriancic is in form, well prepared for the event, his ski performing beautifully, and a one-hand, one-foot backflip is a first at the Grand Prix. Nas closes things off with a very strong and unrelenting series of tricks that wows the crowds and lays the points down for him, all capped off with a helicopter at the end. Floriancic went out with his new RNF hull, which he designed himself, and he laid down the law right from the opening series as he shot through what seemed an innumerable amount of backflips, and the rest of the routine was just sheer mastery. Crowd stood agape and in awe of the four-time world champion who pulled out every trick in the book and then some. It was a flourishing display of strength, stamina, endurance, finesse, and variety, and the judges drowned him in points. Rock wins, Nas runner-up, Mariani gets Italian kudos in third, Turner comes in fourth ahead of Camerlengo.
I feel good. We had rough conditions, we had some waves that were on the way, but I performed well and I'm happy with my performance, especially today I rode first time my new hull and it turns out really good.
With another hard day's training, practice, racing, and time trials behind them, it was time for riders, teams, and their families and crew to relax and enjoy the Porto Cesareo hospitality with a warm reception cocktail. In the Runabout GP2, Italian Mattia Fracasso had a pole position for Moto 1, closing the race out with a start-to-finish win despite a late Marcus Jorgensen challenge. But in Moto 2, Marcus Jorgensen struck back and beat Fracasso by 17 seconds, and that meant it all came down to the third and final heat, a winner-take-all between Fracasso and Jorgensen. Fracasso stormed out at the start and never looked back, opening his lead lap by lap to win Moto 3 and the GP2 world title in a flourishing display 5 years after he won the GP1 world title. In a dramatic twist, Jorgensen was disqualified for a non-conforming ski, which gave runner-up overall to Ali Al-Lanjawi of the UAE, with third place going to Giorgio Viscione, adding to Italian celebrations. In Runabout GP4, it was a similar story to GP2, as the first two heats were won by Sweden's Christian Kanyard and Hungary's Oliver Gerencher respectively, setting them up for a winner-take-all showdown in Moto 3. Despite the win going to Tony Vingegaard of Spain, Kanyard managed to beat Gerencher and claim the GP4 world title. Gerencher runner-up, Tony Vingut on the podium in third. The conditions were rougher for Heat 2 of the Runabout GP1.
I feel good. It's getting a bit windy, which makes it more interesting. Yeah, I rested really good for this race, and I hope we do good.
I hope to make one good result. Yesterday I finished 4th, so I try to do my best. It's more wave, but it will be good.
The final seconds before the race, the flag goes up, the race begins. James Bushell flies off the beach, leaving the field behind right from the get-go. Look at the speed on the British rider out there. Akkerblom behind him in second. Pole sitter Yusuf Al Abdulrazak trying to just keep up with the lead riders as the field spreads out through the commitment buoys and enters the circuit. Bushell arcs around, opening his lead. Behind him, Akkerblom and Al Abdulrazak lock horns for second position. Akkerblom nudging ahead of the Kuwaiti. Bushell opening a sizable lead up front. The British rider racing with a mission out there. Coming out of the alternate track is Lars Akkerblom in second position, and he's given chase by Johan Johansson. The number 84 Swedish rider overhauls Al Abdulrazak to move into third position. But Al Abdulrazak is right on the Swede's tail, breathing down his neck, looking for a way around him. Behind them is Jeremy Perez of France, looking to improve on his fourth place finish in Heat 1. Al Abdulrazak continues his relentless pursuit, moving inside, then out, looking for an opening, trying to sniff out a weakness. Johansson and Al Abdulrazak enter the alternate course. Al Abdulrazak opting for the green track, Johansson choosing the blue. Al Abdulrazak is very fast in the slalom, very tight and quick through those turns. This may give him the advantage over the Swede. They come out of the course, and Al Abdulrazak is quicker than Johansson, setting his sights on the next Swede up, last year's world number 3 Lars Akkerblom. Tough break for Jeremy Perez. The former world runner-up is out of Heat 2 as he's towed back to land. Coming up from 8th position in the alternate track is Georgi Kasha, showing some incredible speed as the former UIM-ABP World Slalom Champion overhauls 4 riders at once. German Frederick Brandau, Russian Alexander Kabatov, New Zealander Karl Lamp, and Austrian Markus Schick all passed in one go by the Hungarian, who moves up to 5th position in the third lap, setting his sights on Johan Johansson in his first Grand Prix returning to the UIM-ABP Series. Kasha closing the gap with Johansson. He is so fast, it only seems a matter of time. The two go head-to-head, and Georgi Kasha does it. Kasha up into 4th position from 8th, all in just a single lap. Disaster for James Bushell. The race leader is out. His hopes for the Grand Prix of Italy title disappear, and that puts Akkerblom in the lead. Al Abdulrazak is now in 2nd position. Into lap 9, there's a huge 3-way battle up front between Akkerblom, Al Abdulrazak, and Kasha. The 3 riders entering the alternate course, Akkerblom in the green, Al Abdulrazak and Georgi Kasha opting for the blue. Kasha is very fast. Slalom is his bread and butter. He's carving through those turns, coming out of the blue track right on Al Abdulrazak's heels, chasing with everything he's got, with Al Abdulrazak right in front of him. Al Abdulrazak in the lead, passing Akkerblom. Kasha neck and neck with Akkerblom. Al Abdulrazak and Akkerblom take the penalty black buoy, and that gives Kasha the lead. The Hungarian rider's incredible climb results in the race lead in lap 9. This is extraordinary. Behind the leading riders, a battle is on for 4th place between Karl Lamp and Alexander Kabatov, the New Zealander just ahead of the Russian rider. The winner of Runabout GP1 Moto 2 is Georgi Kasha. Incredible race. Al Abdulrazak comes in gently past the finish line, happy with runner-up, Akkerblom 3rd. There are the Moto 2 results. A surprise maiden win for Georgi Kasha. Yusuf Al Abdulrazak runner-up, with Lars Akkerblom 3rd ahead of 5 newcomers to the Tour: Karl Lamp, Alexander Kabatov, Julian Emily, and Gediminas Leonas of Lithuania.
Oh, it was a very hard race. You know, the condition was so rough, and it was hard to come to the buoy at the right angle, and we missed so many buoys, but I got to correct it. And yeah, overall, I got a good result.
The Grand Prix of Italy title goes to Al Abdul Razak. Runner-up Lars Åkerblom with 2 third-place finishes in both heats. Then Heat 2 winner Georgi Kasha on the podium in 3rd. That concludes a thunderous start to the 2017 UIM-ABP Aquabike season. It was a cracking round 1, full of intense competition, high drama, and some incredible surprises, not to mention the kind of hospitality and fun that are synonymous with the aquabike lifestyle. See you in Vieste, round 2 for the Mediterranean Grand Prix.